You're engaged.
I am. I couldn't be more excited. It's just, there's so much kind of happening in the moment with...
Selena Gomez is ready for her dream wedding. But Benny Blanco, not so much. Her friends are whispering that he's acting straight up lazy, and the lack of effort is already putting cracks in their relationship. This headline says it all. Selena Gomez's wedding jitters, friends scold fiancé Benny Blanco. That's messy. Imagine waiting until Selena is literally weeks away from walking down the aisle to finally warn her that Benny might not be the one. If her friends really felt this way, shouldn't they have spoken up sooner? Now it looks like Selena is caught in the middle of all this drama while trying to plan the biggest day of her life. Yes, the wedding is happening this month and the pressure is on. The couple just had their bachelor and bachelorette parties, and the difference between the two speaks volumes. Selena was living it up in Cabo San Lucas with sun, fun, and luxury vibes. Meanwhile, Benny skipped the plane because he's terrified of flying, so he literally drove himself to Vegas. A Vegas road trip bachelor party versus a glamorous Cabo getaway? Let's be real, Selena's weekend sounds like a dream, while Benny's felt more like a quick pit stop. The question now is, if he's already slacking on the wedding, what's gonna happen when real marriage responsibilities start hitting? Benny's bachelor party? Picture this. He sweated it out in a sauna with about 25 other dudes. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez was cruising the ocean on a luxury yacht in Mexico, living her best life under the sun. The contrast could not be more dramatic. Selena looked radiant and carefree, clearly soaking up every moment of her getaway.
Gomez fans have noticed that there was no sign of Nicola Peltz at her bachelorette. Living for these photos, Selena has headed on her bachelorette with a group of girls. She shared some photos from Mexico. But amid claims that these two have not spoken for months, Nicola Peltz was nowhere to be seen. Obviously, Nicola and Selena had spent a lot of time together before this. In 2023, Selena joked that they were a throuple, but reports say she has now turned her back on Brooklyn and Nicola, that they are no longer friends. Selena wasn't at Nicola and Brooklyn's vow renewal earlier this month, and now it looks like she's returned the favor and not invited Nicola to her bachelorette. Nicola hasn't liked or commented on Selena's post. Instead, she took to Instagram to share that she was enjoying a low-key date with her husband Brooklyn. Apparently, Selena thinks Nicola is an attention seeker and told mutual friends of the pair negative things about the singer. This obviously comes as Nicola and Brooklyn are in a feud with Brooklyn's parents, David and Victoria. I guess we'll just have to wait and see will they be at the wedding. That will be the biggest telltale sign that there has been a fallout. Meanwhile, Selena looked like she was having the time of her life, surrounded by pals on her bachelorette.
But here's the burning question. Did her friends pull her aside during that trip and whisper, "Girl, are you sure Benny's the one?" Because behind the smiles, there's a major issue that just won't go away. Benny's fear of flying. This isn't just some cute quirk. It's a deal breaker waiting to happen. Selena's a global superstar. She has to be everywhere, from Paris fashion shows to film sets in New York to red carpets in LA. If Benny's too scared to hop on a plane, how is that going to work long term? That distance could easily grow into a wall between them. And yet Benny seems to think he's being sweet about it. Sources claim he told Selena, "This is your wedding first and our wedding second," basically saying, "Do whatever you want, babe." On the surface, that sounds supportive, but some people are already whispering that it's less about being romantic and more about him checking out of the whole process. Benny's whole vibe is, "I just want to marry you, none of the details matter." Cute, right? But let's be real, when you're planning a wedding, you want your partner to care too. At the end of the day, Benny seems more excited about locking down Selena than actually helping create the big day she deserves. And people are already saying, maybe it's time to double check that prenup. He's reportedly over the moon that Selena even agreed to marry him, constantly reminding her that she should make most of the decisions. Sounds sweet on the surface, but in reality, it's made the planning process super rocky. Both of them are procrastinators, and that's a recipe for chaos when the clock is ticking. Selena herself has moments of indecision, like stressing over whether the flowers should be pure white or slightly off-white, but even with her back and forth, she's still doing the heavy lifting. Meanwhile, some of her closest friends have started labeling Benny as lazy. And let's not forget, this is the same guy with a reputation for not exactly being big on showers. People are side-eyeing like, wait, you're just now realizing he's lazy? Sure, Benny thinks he's being generous by letting Selena call the shots, but the reality? It's starting to look like she's carrying the entire wedding on her back.
Do a thing where I also don't believe in always shampooing your hair or conditioning your hair. I also I'm really clean, but I don't shower every day. But some people I know shower like 2-3 times a day. But I feel like the oils on your skin don't have like time to like rejuvenate and get juicy. I want there to be an aroma as I'm walking by. I want it to smell a little bit like man, a little bit feminine, a little like, I definitely like lean, I think, a little more feminine than in every sense.
Benny keeps spinning it like he's the sweetest fiance alive. Selena, baby, do whatever you want. Pick the flowers, pick the vibe, I don't care. But insiders are whispering the truth. It's not romance, it's avoidance. He just doesn't want to lift a finger. Selena reportedly feels like Benny could at least step up and make some decisions. But nope, he's sitting back while she handles everything. Their relationship isn't crumbling, but those closest to them see the writing on the wall. They know this dynamic isn't temporary. It's the way things will be if she marries him. Some call it a quirky imbalance, but let's be honest, that sounds a lot more like a red flag. Sources also revealed that wedding plans have been crawling along at a snail's pace. Why? Benny admitted that work has kept both of them busy. Originally, this was hyped up to be a 3-day extravaganza. Lavish, over the top, Kardashian-level vibes. But now, it's reportedly been cut down to a 2-day event. Honestly, maybe that's for the best. Because a wedding is supposed to be sacred, not some music festival with VIP wristbands. And here's the kicker. Selena herself even opened up about her engagement during her chat on the Therapist podcast. Let's check out exactly what she had to say. What projects is Benny even buried in right now? Because from the outside, it looks like he's way too checked out when it comes to his relationship with Selena.
Engaged.
Yeah, I am. I'm very, very happy.
And are you excited for like wedding and stuff?
I am. I couldn't be more excited. It's just, there's so much kind of happening in the moment with, he's working on some projects that he has to wrap up because we want to finish, and our own personal endeavors before we get into all the nitty gritty. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm really, I just have never really felt so sure about something. And I also don't want to jinx it by saying that.
I feel the same way about things. Superstitious person.
A little bit. I don't like to admit it, but a little bit.
Because you don't like to admit it, because then it's like superstitious.
I know.
Yes, yeah. I'm the same exact.
Some people are starting to wonder if Benny might be one of those guys who comes in hot, love bombing like crazy at the beginning, only to fade once he feels secure. And let's not forget, this man pulled out all the stops when he proposed. He dropped a $1 million ring, built an entire set for a romantic picnic, and even threw Taco Bell into the mix as a quirky touch. That was flashy, over-the-top energy. But where is that same effort now when it comes to the actual wedding? And here's where it gets even juicier. Let's talk guest list. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are confirmed to be attending. That's power couple energy walking into the room. Insiders are saying Selena even scheduled her big day with Taylor in mind, just to make sure her bestie could be there. That means she's aligning her entire timeline around friendship priorities. While Benny can't even pick out flowers. It's giving lopsided energy, and people are noticing. Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz are also expected to roll in. And let's be real, the whole Beckham clan always brings drama. That family is a storyline on its own, and honestly, it deserves a full deep dive one day. But back to Selena's wedding. This guest list is about to be stacked with A-listers. Justin Bieber could easily make an appearance, and Ed Sheeran, practically guaranteed. Now picture this, Beyoncé stepping into the room, or Lady Gaga turning heads as soon as she walks through the door. If even half of these names show up, Selena's wedding instantly turns into one of the most star-studded events of the year. And we can't forget about her co-stars from Only Murders in the Building. It would make perfect sense for the cast to be there supporting her on such a huge day. Side note, I've never actually watched the show myself. With a title like that, I thought it would be scary, but people keep telling me it's not scary at all. It's more of a dark comedy. Still, imagine that whole cast mixing with music royalty at her wedding. That's a headline waiting to happen.
Huge news, of course, Selena was engaged.
Yes.
So, are you guys busy planning speeches?
We have in mind, first we're not invited. But we are, let's say we were invited. We are going to parachute in with hand mics.
In agreement?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm doing a medley that again of songs that weren't nominated, but again haven't been asked. Yeah.
What can you imagine, Selena, would be the perfect wedding gift for these two? Just to give them some hints.
Oh yeah, what do you want, buddy?
No, I think
Here's what you
Just trying to help a girl.
What do you need?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Gift is
I have the
being
perfect wedding gift, and we're going to give it to them together.
Is that true?
Yep.
awesome.
I was going to ask you, because you have a salt and pepper shaker, right? Okay.
Yeah, well, this is the gift, honestly.
People keep telling me Only Murders in the Building is more comedy than scary. But honestly, I'm not rushing to watch it unless you guys swear it's that good. Anyway, let's get back to this wedding, because here's where things get really wild. Supposedly, even the guests don't know the venue yet. That's right, nobody's been given the exact location. The secrecy is next level. And it's all to keep paparazzi and drones from blowing up Selena's big day. Think about it. If someone got that address early, every photographer in California would be camped out with cameras, and drones would be buzzing overhead. So the plan is to keep everyone in the dark until the very last minute. Imagine being invited to the wedding of the year, but not knowing where you're actually going until the day of. What we do know is that it's happening somewhere in Montecito or the Santa Barbara area. But insiders aren't giving exact details. As a planner, that would give me so much anxiety. Flying into a city I've never been. No clue where I'm headed, and just waiting for a secret text with the address. Even Harvey Levin from TMZ got in on the guessing game, speculating about which estate could be hosting this massive event. And here's the kicker. Selena reportedly isn't even taking Benny's last name. Here's a twist. Selena isn't taking Benny's last name, but reports say she may go with Selena Levin. And that's hilarious because, yes, Harvey Levin has the exact same last name. Imagine the headlines. Selena Levin, Benny Levin, and Harvey Levin. People would be side-eyeing like, wait, are they all related now? And let's be real. When it comes to privacy, an estate wedding makes total sense. Think about one of those sprawling properties with a 3-mile driveway where the paparazzi can't even get close. No cameras, no drones, no random strangers sneaking a shot, just total lockdown luxury vibes.
Gomez and Benny Blanco are getting married later this month. You know, there are all sorts of places they could get married in Montecito. One of the most famous, well, I mean, the Rosewood is fantastic.
Right, people to get married.
They're not getting married at either of these places.
No way.
Nope, I found out. That's what my phone call was.
Just now.
They're not getting married at a hotel. They're getting married at a private estate in Montecito. And the reason I'm not shocked is you got to assume Taylor Swift is going to be there.
I mean,
And it's easier to control a situation like that.
Do you think she would do this all just for?
Well, especially, like, they can't be in public. So an estate makes sense. Like, one of those big estates where you've got, like, a 3-mile-long driveway so that no photographers can really get in.
Taylor, though?
Taylor changes the game.
I guess so.
Taylor changes the game. And, you know, the more I thought about it in the last 3 minutes, it kind of makes sense because people will go crazy to get there.
But here's the shocking part. Selena and Benny didn't even show up at this year's MTV VMAs. That absence raised eyebrows, especially since they had just dropped their joint album, I Said I Love You First. That project had potential. Some fans thought it deserved a nomination, maybe even a win. Personally, I vibed with that album way more than most people did. But the truth, a lot of folks have already moved on from it, leaving it in the rear view while Selena's wedding drama takes center stage. The reason Selena and Benny skipped the VMAs? Simple. They've got bigger things on their plate right now, like locking down every detail of this wedding. Plus, let's not forget Benny's fear of flying. To make it from California to New York, he'd either have to drive across the country or hop on a train. And honestly, can you picture him rolling up after a cross-country train ride? Cute in theory, but not happening. Now here's where it gets even more intriguing. On the Therapist podcast, Selena opened up about her history with Benny. She revealed she actually met him when she was just 16 years old. They were supposed to work on music together back then, but it never took off. Crazy to think she's known her future husband since her teen years. She made it clear, though, back then he was nothing more than an acquaintance. Selena even admitted, I wasn't like besties with him. I thought he was nice over the years. They collaborated on a few tracks, including Same Old Love. And she said they had fun, but there was nothing really there. The way she describes him in those early days makes it obvious. She was not into Benny at all. Not at 16, not at 17, not even well into her 20s, which makes it even more wild that she's now about to marry the man she once barely noticed. And honestly, I get it. It took me a while to warm up to Benny Blanco too. At first you're like, okay, he's fine, he's cute, I guess. Even Selena admitted that back in the day, she just wasn't ready for whatever their love story would eventually become. Timing is everything. Sometimes you meet someone and it's not the right season of your life, and years later, it finally clicks. For Selena, that moment came when she and Benny started working together on Single Soon. Funny enough, it wasn't even their favorite collaboration musically, but the experience itself lit the spark. She said it was fun for both of them, and this time, the timing was finally right. Now here's where things took a random turn. I stumbled across this TikTok of Selena Gomez hanging out with a dog, adorable, fluffy, just stealing the show. But the real drama was in the comments. People weren't just commenting on the pooch, they were being downright mean to Selena. Like, instead of enjoying a wholesome clip of her with a cute dog, trolls just had to bring negativity. Whose dog was it anyway? That became the big question in the thread. Everyone was confused, and the comments spiraled from playful curiosity into unnecessary shade.
What? What's wrong, buddy?
Turns out the mystery dog is actually their new puppy. But of course, the internet had a field day. One person asked, why is Selena Gomez ignoring him? Another troll even wrote, that dog looks just like Benny. And then came the shady digs about Selena's appearance. One comment bluntly said, take care of your hair, Selena. Like, why are people coming for her hair over a puppy video? The negativity didn't stop there. Some viewers pointed out she wasn't petting the dog enough, with one person laughing, why isn't she even looking at him, LOL? Others brought up past pets we never saw again, with one brutal comment, reading, just another dog they won't keep. Then came the snark about her face, even questioning what was on her nose. Seriously, people can be ruthless for no reason. And here's the thing, one of the biggest criticisms online is about celebs rehoming dogs. People still bring up Kim Kardashian as an example of how messy it can look when stars don't stick with their pets long term. That's why some are side-eyeing Selena and Benny, wondering if this puppy will actually stay in the picture. On the flip side, some fans think this little furball could be a practice run, like a training session before Selena and Benny eventually take the leap into parenthood. Cute or calculated? That's the question people are buzzing about. It's wild how often celebs cycle through pets. One day they've got a puppy, the next it's vanished like it never existed. I even did a deep dive once on the Kardashians' endless animals. There were so many that people joked it was like a revolving door. A couple of selfies and then suddenly the pets were gone. But let's shift to something even more explosive. A shocking report just dropped about Selena Gomez's mom, Mandy. She's now publicly denying claims that she was snorting Ritalin inside her company's office. The accusations tie back to Wondermind, the mental health startup Selena co-founded with her mom in 2021. On paper, Wondermind was supposed to make mental health resources more accessible. But behind the scenes, things have looked messy. Insiders say employees weren't even getting paid at one point. Mandy reportedly had to take out a loan against her home just to keep the company afloat. And now, former staff are coming forward with even more damning claims, alleging drug use at work. New York Magazine's The Cut published a bombshell article on September 3rd, digging into Mandy's leadership. According to their reporting, Wondermind laid off 9 of its 15 employees this past May, gutting more than half the team. For a company built on wellness and stability, these kinds of scandals are devastating. Celebs and their pets, it's the same story every time. One minute they're showing off a puppy for Instagram likes, and the next, the poor animal is gone without a trace. I even did a breakdown of the Kardashians' pet history once. It was literally like a revolving door of animals. Cute photo ops, then suddenly vanished. But let's talk about something way more explosive. Selena Gomez's mom, Mandy, is in the hot seat after a shocking report accused her of snorting Ritalin inside her company's office. Mandy has since denied the allegations, but the damage is already done. All of this chaos ties back to Wondermind, the mental health company Selena launched with her mom in 2021. On the outside, it looked like a groundbreaking brand built to give people better access to wellness tools. Behind the scenes, though, total dysfunction. Insiders claim staff weren't getting paid. And at one point, Mandy even had to take out a loan against her home just to keep the business alive. And now, with former employees stepping forward, the allegations are piling up. On September 3rd, New York Magazine's The Cut dropped a bombshell investigation into Mandy's leadership, exposing that Wondermind laid off 9 of its 15 employees in May. That's more than half the entire staff gone in one swoop. For a company built on stability and mental health support, this kind of scandal is absolutely devastating. Selena has reportedly poured millions into Wondermind over the years, all to back her mom and their shared passion for mental health. But at this point, people are asking, where did all that money even go? Some are even joking that Selena should be asking for a refund because the company looks like it's crumbling from the inside. Instead of turning to her billionaire daughter for financial support, Mandy actually took out a personal loan just to keep Wondermind afloat. And that's raising eyebrows everywhere. How is Selena, a global superstar, worth hundreds of millions, while her mom is out here scraping for loans to save a business that's supposed to already have major celebrity backing? It's not adding up. One commenter named Mary put it bluntly, "Whatever's going on, I hope they can salvage the foundation. It's a worthy cause." I don't know her mother's background. I've been in healthcare since 1988. I could contribute, but I couldn't run a foundation. I hope they get the right people in charge. And honestly, that's the issue right there. Mandy might not be the right person to lead something this huge. And beyond leadership, a lot of people are questioning what Wondermind even does. Like, yes, it's branded as a mental health platform, but if you already have a therapist, why would you need a middleman company like this? To many, it feels like an unnecessary third-party step that doesn't actually help the people it claims to serve. If Selena truly wanted to build an organization that helps people, the smartest move would have been to bring in real professionals to run Wondermind from the ground up. Instead, what we're seeing feels less like a groundbreaking foundation and more like an expensive blog dressed up as a wellness empire. And here's the kicker. If they're not even finessing some of these loans for tax purposes, then what are they doing? Some critics are even whispering that the money shuffle might be a way to dodge taxes. Because let's be honest, no one wants to hand their cash to the IRS these days. The online chatter is brutal too. One comment read, "Sounds like a bunch of ticked off ex-employees. Move on." Another from James Flatout said, "We know the truth, Mandy." And honestly, that almost sounds like a threat. The drama just keeps stacking higher and higher around this company. But that's the tea for today. If you've been keeping up with all this chaos and want more daily deep dives into the scandals shaping Hollywood, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We're dropping fresh celebrity gossip every single day right here on NoFilter. So like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.